Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to another video. Something a little bit different this time round. I am in, as most people are, I am in Facebook forums. I watch a lot of TikTok, social media, YouTube, all that type of stuff. And the one thing I keep seeing all the time is people that are starting the plan, kind of being confused and demotivated and trying to ask questions on how do people go around keeping their mind on track of the whole thing. And if you're new here, one of my biggest things is keeping a good mindset, a positive mindset on this weight loss journey. I am almost 12 stone down. I am at 165 pound since I started 2 years ago, and that has all been by following the Slim and Well plan. And has it been straightforward? No, it hasn't. It's been up, down, side to side like a roller coaster. And yeah, it's kind of been a plan that's given me a lot of kind of knowledge of how best to kind of face Slim and World head on and kind of really take it to town to get success on the scales and within whatever journey you are on. So I've kind of just got like a few tips that I have jotted down to try and help you if you are new to the plan or if you're old to the plan, but just need a little bit of motivation. Yeah, I've kind of put these little tips together from me to you to help you on your way. So yeah, kind of the main one I would say for me. So tip number one is to focus on your why. So why have you joined Slim and World? Why do you want to lose weight? So maybe think think beyond the scales. So is it better energy levels, better sleep, confidence, health? It's really come up to the why you want to do it. Because we all want to lose weight, because we all want to be healthier. But some of us have those extra little things that are really going to get us to where we want to be. Just kind of saying, I want to lose weight to be healthy, it just whitewashes it. So for me, at my heaviest, I was almost 40 stone. So for me, it was kind of confidence, health, mobility. I was practically bedbound at one point, and yeah, that kind of put me in a really, really dark place mentally, because all I was seeing was basically the four walls of my home, and I was just getting really fed up, depressed, and I just really did not want to go down that little spiral of anything else, basically. So yeah, kind of focus on your why there, and write down your reasons and revisit them. So have a little journal. I've got a notebook somewhere, and I just write down the reasons, and then when I need that little bit of extra motivation, I'll go back and I'll just read them kind of little things, and it's those little things that are going to kind of propel you and stop you from stalling and kind of being in this like little bubble of not really sure why I'm not really doing what I'm supposed to be, or why the plan isn't working for me. And basically it's because you lose track of your why, or that's what I think anyway. Number two, it's kind of avoid the all of nothing mentality. So one-off meal, it kind of ruins the rest of your week type of thing. And I've been there myself. I've had a lovely family meal. We've all gone out. We've had beers and everything. It's been midweek, and then you just think, oh, you know what? I've gone way over swips this week. I'll just start again next week. Because here's the thing: if you don't get back on track, or if you overthink it and complicate it, you are not going to enjoy the plan at all. I've spent many hours looking at restaurant menus and places to eat to try and stay on plan. And the truth is, you know what? If you're going out to have a meal, go out, have your meal, enjoy it, have a lovely time. But as soon as you're back home and through that door, that's it. Get your mind back on track, and stop panicking about the little things. Weight loss isn't about being perfect all the time. It's about doing things consistently well, and that's going to keep you going for a lot longer. Um, if you're someone that really likes to use their swips, or their sins, use them without guilt. The part of the plan. Um, I am really guilty of that. I don't use a lot of my swips. Um, I'm allotted 35 swips per day. I don't want to use 35 swips, um, because I want to be focused on weight loss. Um, I want my weight off as quick as I can because I've got things I want to do. You know, I've kind of got my life planned around losing weight. So I need to get this off and kind of keep it off, which is kind of where the maintenance part of the plan comes in. Um, but yeah, use use the sins, use your swips if you need to. They are there, and don't feel guilty about using them. But what I would say is, don't be cutting digestive biscuits in half just to make sure you hit your sin target. Um, it's not a target; it's just there to use when you need them. And like I said, you know what? Consistency, it matters more than any perfection whatsoever. Um, my third tip would be to make your meals enjoyable. I am a big believer of you eat with your eyes first. I like to plate all my meals up that look kind of restaurant quality, even if it's just a basic egg salad, you know, boiled eggs with a bit of rocket spinach and um, watercress salad on a plate, but I will make it look very nice. Um, One, for photos to share, but two, because if something really looks nice, I enjoy it more. And build all your meals around the free food and the speed food. So this is kind of where a lot of people in the plan get confused around free food. Um, in particular, kind of you'll see it everywhere: the unlimited pasta, the unlimited rice, the unlimited potatoes. But here's one thing for you: 200 gram of cooked pasta, which is about 90 gram if you measure it out, has the same calories as a Cadbury chocolate bar for 49 gram. It's the same calories. So when they say it's unlimited, it's because it really is. You know, you will struggle to have 200 gram of pasta when you add in your protein, your speed food, your veggies and things like that, or your salad. You will find 200 gram is actually quite a lot. And you don't have to weigh that out. I like to weigh it, just because I like to know where I am. I've had things where I've had to increase calories and stuff like that. But basically, if you just want to use calories to eat chocolate and stuff your face with biscuits, it's entirely up to you. But if you actually want to work the plan properly, then fill up on your pastas, your potatoes, your rice, because that's what it's there for. The whole thing of Slimming World is it is low sugar, low fat, and yes, it's high on carbs, but carbs fill you up. It gives you good carbs with nutrition, but it restricts you on bread and things like that. That basically you have a sandwich, you don't really feel full. 10 minutes later, you want to eat it again. That's the plan in a nutshell. Um, Another kind of one within your meals is batch cook your favourites. If you're working shifts, you don't have a lot of time. batch cook. My freezer is just full to the brim with chili con carne, spaghetti, chili beef, Mexican beef, a lot of chicken, Cajun chicken. I've got plenty and plenty of chicken skewers with broccoli, vegetables, and stuff like that, ready to go in the microwave. And yeah, use the batch cooking if you can to your advantage. If you finish work at tea time, you get in, you're absolutely knackered. You know what? A lot of us would go out and buy ready meals or order a takeaway. But if you know that you're going to be in later that night, guess what? Go in the freezer, take it out, pop it on the side. By the time you get back in from work, hey presto, you've got a ding ding meal ready to go in. And, you know, that's going to save you a lot of time. It also, say if you want to use jar sauce in curries or in pastas, if you can't make it yourself with the different flavours, batch cooking is also a good way to spread those swips out amongst meals. So say if 1 jar of lasagna sauce is 18 swips, by the time you put that out across 4 or 5 meals, yeah, it's next to nothing. And you know what? Sometimes for lasagna, if you use 6 to 8 swips on a lasagna, what's not to love? Yeah, really is worthwhile doing it. And you know, sometimes I watch a lot of American food shows, and sometimes when they touch on kind of the British way of eating, they always say that we don't season things that well. Mainly because we don't have to, because we've got better meat quality, but that's another subject for another day. But use your herbs, use your spices, use the low sin sauces. I use Tesco's reduced sugar and salt bolognese sauce. It's 2 swips for the whole jar, makes a load. Yeah, it's perfect. Things like that, you will find them all over, and you'll find them in the app as well. So yeah, kind of use that, make them delicious, make them worthwhile having. If you're just going to make boring food, you know what? You're going to get sick of the food. You're going to get sick of the plan. You're just going to get sick of living, basically, if your food doesn't taste nice. You know, keep it exciting. So, tip number 4. Hope you're keeping up. Hope I am hitting some of the things correctly. And yeah, we're kind of going to go into... I finish my videos off saying about 5 seconds on a scale. So I'm kind of going to say treat the scales as feedback. Do not fixate on what that number says on the scale, because there is many, many reasons why you've been on plan all week. You've absolutely nailed it. You've done everything to the letter of the law. You've gone in, you've gained a half a pound to a pound, pound and a half. The body is a very, very complex thing. And you know what? Fixating on the number of the scale really does not do you any justice on your plan whatsoever. So weight fluctuates due to like your water, your hormones, digestion, just anything it wants to. I always say that my body likes to hold on to water to stop me getting slimmer of the week every other week, because I tend to lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain. And it kind of just stops me getting my shiny stickers that I really like. So I just say that's what it is. So yeah, kind of don't fixate on that little number, and kind of look towards the longer term trends. So instead of looking at it weekly, look at it over the month, look at it over 3 months, 6 months, see where you are. And then kind of, you know, to me, I can start a month, I can gain £8, but by the end of the month, I could lose £7 over the entire month, and be half a stone further down the road than where I was. But if I just looked at it that 1 week, it would not really make any sense, and I'd fall out of love with what I was doing, and that is to losing weight to get healthier and everything else. So again, it goes back to that mindset, but just treat the scale as a little bit of feedback. If you're getting weighed at home, make sure your scales are calibrated. Most people, if they weigh themselves at home, are already in their birthday suits. But sometimes, and I will see it myself on YouTube and other videos, they will stand on the scale once, take that instant reading, and they haven't been calibrated or anything else. Make sure you do that, because that is something that a lot of people forget to do. And yeah, just make sure you calibrate them. And finally, on this point, I reckon celebrate all of your non-scale victories. And you know what? They will come thick and fast. This t-shirt I've got on now, I've gone from a 7XL when I started. This is now a 4XL. My trousers are a 4XL. This was only a couple of weeks ago I started fitting into 4XL. My trousers are already fallen down. They're a little bit looser. And to me, I may not have moved much on the scale, but in clothes size and everything else, I feel much, much better about the plan. And that's what it's about. If you feel great in yourself and in the clothes that you're wearing, who cares what the little number on a scale says for 5 seconds in a week? You know? So treat the scales as a feedback, but, you know, don't rely and fixate on everything that them scales say. Number 5, I hope you're all keeping up. I know this is going to be a long one, but I kind of just want to get my tips out there for people. If they're worth having, I don't know. I'll let you all be the judge of that. Yes, so yeah, number 5, set weekly behavior goals. And examples of that is stay within your SWIPs most days, add extra speed food to the plate, just little things like that, things that are going to help you stay within the plan and on the plan. So I normally put increased speed food, or 4 days out in the next week, I want to kind of try new things. So I want to try new speed foods. I want to try new free foods. I want to get better doing my no meat Mondays that I'm doing. So, you know, things like that, kind of setting a weekly behavior pattern that mentally is easier for me to follow in the long run. But you need to choose the goals that you can control. So don't go out there and say, you know what, this week I'm going to cut my portion size down. I'm going to eat less SWIPs, but I'm going to increase and just have salad all week. It's not a realistic goal. And after a week, maybe 2 weeks, you're just going to fall flat on your face. You're going to eat everything that you possibly can. I almost said the word that we shouldn't say. But yeah, you know what? The small wins build momentum. And it goes back to, you know, you don't have to be perfect all the time. You just have to be consistent most of the time. So yeah, just set those weekly little goals. And you know, the little picture at times is better and bigger than the overall thing. Tip number 6, especially for those of us that go to group. If you go to group to weigh in, try and stay for the session, the group session. I personally don't get a lot from it since they changed the format. I think the accountability has totally gone. You've got to keep yourself accountable, and it's really, really difficult, especially when quite often you leave group and you think, what was all that about? I've wasted an hour. But by being in the same room with people doing the same thing, and you can share what has worked, what hasn't worked, and you can talk outside of the little session. I don't think they call it the support session, whatever they call it these days. Those little conversations that you have with other people, you pick up a lot of information and knowledge. There is people who have been target members and on the ball for, I think there's some in our group that have been target member for 10 years. They have totally nailed it. And their knowledge and everything is second to none. If you always kind of need just that little bit of advice, even if you don't get it from the consultant, other people in the group, they'll give you the knowledge. Or like in mine, I've got a lovely group of people that if I don't do particularly well, they threaten to beat me up. So that keeps me on track. But you know what? I wouldn't have that any other way, because in a way, it just helps me to keep accountable. Kind of if people have ideas, borrow them, take them for yourself, adjust them to your needs. This week we've been talking about the different types of cheesecake things. And everyone was raving about the Japanese cheesecake with the Biscoff biscuits. For me personally, I'm not going to go down the route of trying to make cheesecakes, because if I want a cheesecake, there's nothing stopping me just going to go and have a little bit of a cheesecake. It's the same with all of us. So I think sometimes when you try and kind of borrow certain ideas, or what I think Slim World actually put it out themselves to do it, you kind of have to go on your own thought, and kind of just do it yourself sometimes. Tip number 7, reframe what is body magic. So kind of choose the exercises that you enjoy and that you would do like every day or want to do most days of the week. I started small. I started doing 10-minute seated cardio workouts, following videos on YouTube. And now I am up to doing 60 minutes every single day. 3 days a week I will do it with weights. And I'm also 4 days a week I go for a 3-mile walk. But you have to start with the small bits, work your way up, increase over time. And hopefully you will be in a place where you just want to do it all the time. Exercise is fantastic to get your mindset in the right place. It gives you that extra boost of motivation. It just improves the whole mood. And believe it or not, it also improves your appetite. It definitely improves your appetite. I find out the more I actually work, especially on the days where I do it with weights, I am hungry. Start small. If you're thinking, I can't get out, I can't do much, my knees are bad, just do a seated cardio workout. Just go on YouTube, put it in, and just pick a video, watch it a couple of times first, and then just do it. If you can only manage 3 to 5 minutes at first, that's 3 to 5 minutes more than what you would be doing. And just build it up. If it's 30 seconds every day, fantastic. If you can go a little bit longer, put a little bit more into it, you know what, you're halfway there. The plan, it's mostly food. I would say it's probably 90% food, 10% exercise, because that is the way life is, really. You can go to the gym, you can put all the effort in, But if you're leaving the gym, going out, eating a Big Mac, KFC, and eating a cheesecake shop on the way back, what's the point of doing the workout? So really, it's all about your food. And lastly, fact number 8, plan for low motivation days. So when you really can't be chewed, and we will all get there, we will all have them days. You're probably having it now, but keep a plan of kind of better food choices stocked. So, again, it goes back to this, plan your meals out, plan your food, plan your snacks, make sure that you've got loads of low SWIP options in. I love the Asda beef po noodle pot. It is huge. It's 1.5 SWIPs. It's fantastic. It's 182 calories. I can have 2-3 of them a day when I'm really not bothered. But for me, that's fantastic. I've used less than 5 SWIPs and I don't feel like I've really done much. So keep things in that are really friendly to your weight loss. Just plan for having sod it days. It's as simple as that. Plan for your sod it days. And have just, we'll go back to your batch cooking. Just have very simple meals that you can just bung in the microwave. If you want to get some Slimming World meals or other Slimming World meals on your plan, even if you're not following Slimming World, like I know some of you probably won't be, but you just want tips anyway, just have some nutritious ready meals in that you can just, I'm going to put that in and that's it. 11 minutes, bang, I'm having something to eat. I can just go on and do whatever else I'm doing. And, kind of decide in advance how you're going to handle all your social events, holidays, birthdays, weddings, all that type of stuff. It was my birthday last week. I planned to have a meal off plan. I didn't have the whole day off plan, just the one meal. However, to go with that, a very good friend of mine and people that work for me also were kind of pushing me to go for a few beers. I haven't had beers for 6 months, but I decided, you know what, sod it. I'm going to go and have a couple of beers. That didn't do much in the way of pulling me off track. It was just something that happened. If I could plan in advance, I'd probably think, oh, you know what? I'll have a look at what vodka, whiskey, gin they have, things like that. I'm very fussy when it comes to spirits and things like that. But I went, I enjoyed it, I had a lovely time. And I minimised how much my gain was last week. Because, let's face it, not every week you're going to have a loss. If you've had a birthday, if you've had, your son's birthday, your daughter's birthday, you've been somewhere, you've been on holiday, you know what, sometimes just expecting a gain, it's all part of it. So just accept it and move on. But like I said earlier, just have that one meal, that one day, get straight back on it. It's not about being perfect all the time. It's been about consistency. So yeah, hopefully those tips are kind of okay. I've rabbited on way too much. But hopefully if you're new to Slimming World, you will kind of use some of these to help you get on your way. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you're going to win this week, don't let the 5 seconds on the scale dictate your week, month, year. And yeah, do something positive, be positive, change your mindset. And if you use any of those tips or little things throughout this video, let me know, just so I know I haven't wasted 30 minutes talking to myself. So anyway, I will catch you all again on the next one. Adios.